Okay, let me record. Okay, so then everybody would have gotten the little notification that we're recording. Hi, everybody. Welcome to our virtual team tasting. This is meant to be fun and super casual. It's a great way to learn a little bit about One Hope, and also to share it with others so they can come and they can hear about our wines, they can hear about our give back, they can hear about the impact we're making. And it's a great way for you to introduce what the company is. So if you are here, I'm going to say hi and welcome. You might have been invited by a friend, and you may hear a little bit about the different types of impact that can be made through our company. So typically for a tasting, we can actually choose a specific organization to give back to. This evening, we could be supporting multiple organizations because we might have had different teammates that invited friends for a different nonprofit that they may be supporting, and 10% of all sales would go back to that nonprofit. Thank you, Lori. So if you are attending, say hello in the comments, maybe throw in the chat box the wine that you're drinking this evening, and then also the cause that you're supporting. And real quick, I just want to kind of introduce our leaders that are heading the call. So as I kind of say your name, if you want to give a wave and a cheers, I have to the left of me, Anya Fiducia. I have Alyssa Marlin.
Cheers.
I have Steph Crawford.
Cheers.
And I have Lori Archer. Cheers, ladies. So we're all going to take a little piece of the tasting to share with you. So, I hope you find this helpful and you learn some really great information about One Hope. So I'm going to pass it off to Anya, who is going to kick it off and then also wrap it up this evening.
Fantastic. Well, welcome everybody. We are so grateful you're here. So what you're experiencing is our in-person tasting that would happen in your living room. And we have created this version of a virtual tasting where we get to share Napa Valley wines with you and our mission. So we are just so grateful you're here. If you have purchased the tasting flights, you can go along with it. Or if you just have your favorite wine in your glass, you can sip. There's no wrong way, white or red. You can drink it all. Sit back, relax. At the end of the tasting, we just simply say, whoever invited you to our tasting, follow up with that person. They will help you to finalize your order. But right now, we're just here to just learn a little bit more about One Hope and learn about our wines. So a little bit about this company. One Hope has been around since 2007. It's very easy for me to remember because that is the birth year of my kiddo. So I will always remember it. And our company started off very simply on a mission that wine shouldn't just taste good, it should do good. And our founder, Jake, he had a friend who got really sick. She was diagnosed with leukemia. She's healthy now, but she was really young in her young 20s. And he realized that maybe we don't have the whole life to follow our dreams. And he had this dream that wine can help the nonprofit community. So and I have my notes, so I apologize, but this keeps me going. He found his moment of courage. He approached 7 of his coworkers and presented this idea that, maybe we can be in the wine industry and make an impact. Like, why can't we be part of a nonprofit give back through wine? And they all found their moment of courage and they jumped in, and they were younglings, and they maxed out their credit cards, and they convinced their parents that it's a great idea to use their garage for storage. They totally, our beginnings are very humble. They are people that worked hard, had the heart, to just put in the work. And what they've done is they took every opportunity that they had in order to share their One Hope mission. And it was one of these events, it was an industry tasting event that our whole company's future changed. So if you've ever attended a business expo, they typically have a business card that you can put in a box for a chance to win something. And after the event was over, they were going through their contacts. One contact stood out, and on the back of the card, it said, "Give me a call." And the person's name is Michael Mondavi. That is the family that we all might know, the Mondavi family. They are the reason Napa Valley is what it is today. And our whole future has changed from this one event. So we always say one event can change your whole business. It did that for us. And now the Mondavi family is partnered with One Hope. We are so fortunate that the grandson, Robert Mondavi Jr., is one of our winemakers. And we also have the most amazing, fierce female winemaker who is highly recognized as a wine judge in the wine industry, and as a female is totally like making a name for herself. She touches every single wine that we produce, which means that our wine is consistent because she is the one that will always make sure if the wine passes her quality control. So we are so lucky that we have Mari Wells Coyle on our team. And so since day one, our founders, they were like, you know what? Our wine is going to be a story. It is going to be a moment of hope. Since 2007, over $8 million have been given back to the nonprofit community simply because someone like you tried our wines. Someone like you said, you know what? Let's give hope a chance, supported One Hope, and we were able to make such a big impact. And our impact yearly now is increasing tremendous. Like I still remember when we had like the first couple of million, and now it's like every year. That means, especially in this world right now, where it's so hard for nonprofits, because of us doing tastings like this, we are providing a nonprofit with funding to provide services for the community that needs it. So thank you for being here. And we thank you for supporting. As Laura mentioned, all of us are raising money right now for a different nonprofit. So definitely look in the chat, see who we're raising money for, because I'm pretty sure, I'm not looking at the chat, but the nonprofits are all different because we all have something that connects us and our family to a nonprofit, and our stories are unique, just like our wines. So enough about like talking, right? We all want to sip. So keep in mind, as we are going through the tasting, and depending if you're doing the tasting flight, if one of the wine jumps out at you, start making your wish list. If you're sipping on your own wine, if something sounds really great, put that down because you're going to forget, because we're like putting together a wish list of what we're going to get in order to make a huge impact for these nonprofits. So the first wine is our sparkling brut. So if you're using the tasting flights, the bottle is actually glass because we want to protect the bubbles. The glass keeps the bubbles nice and crisp and bubbly. So when you pop it open, like that whole bottle just explodes in your glass, and the bubbles are happy and the flavors are so intense. So what I love about our sparkling brut, doesn't matter if you're a dry wine lover, doesn't matter if you're a sweet wine lover, if you like red, if you like white, everyone loves our sparkling brut that you're tasting because it is just refreshing. It is light. It has this incredible aroma of maybe a little bit of apples. Actually, let me read, because you know I taste different things than you might. So our winemaker says notes of citrus, pineapple, a hint of green apple. I definitely pick up the green apple. I don't really pick up the pineapple. And what I love about this wine, popcorn. So you know what, sometimes we feel like sparkling wine is fancy, or sparkling wine is meant to be like just for celebrations. Oh no, it's for Monday nights. Like if you're watching a show, get a bowl of popcorn or potato chips, pop open this, and you'll be surprised how the salty goes incredibly well with our bubbles. Fun fact that my note card here is telling me is the term brut refers to the level of sweetness in sparkling wines. Now, probably everybody here who is SCE watched our last training. So one of the fun things about being with One Hope, we get educated on wines. And just last week, we took a class on what brut means and the level of sweetness. So if that sounds like something you want to know, definitely follow up with the person who invited you, because they can give you that information. But what I'm going to do now is I'm going to pass my part now over to Stephanie, who is going to talk about our Chardonnay. She's going to take you on a journey of Chardonnay and also going to tell you about our specials.
Yeah. Oh, Anya, you're amazing. Thank you so much for that. Well, welcome tonight, everybody. Let's get this moving. Okay, so we're moving on to wine number 2, but before we do, let's touch base with this month's amazing special. So what does that mean? When you add 6 bottles to your cart, there's going to get a pop-up for you, your customers, whoever's on the site. It's going to look like this. I'm actually on my phone. It's kind of hard to see with the lighting, but you get this really nice pop-up box. And it says, get this trick or trio for $40. It's such an amazing deal. Normally $80. You're going to get the Moscato. You're going to get our 96-point Vintner Red Blend, and you're also going to get our Vintner Sauvignon Blanc. And I love this collection because the holidays are coming, gatherings are coming. There's something in here for everyone. So you're going to get 3 bottles for $40 after you've added 6 bottles to your cart. That's the deal this month. So moving on to our Chardonnay. Now, Anya showed you our lovely little Chardonnay bottle. I actually have some red in my glass still. I saved one more sip because I cannot wait to take you guys through this really fun exercise. We are going to sniff. Well, we're going to swirl, then we're going to sniff, then we're going to sip. So one of my favorite things is getting a really good swirl going in your glass, a little wrist action. And you want to get, you want to open it up with the air, and it's going to bring out that bouquet of what the, all those winemakers notes that they talk about. That's how you're going to get that out of there. But the key is once you get the swirl going, you have about 3 seconds from the time you stop doing this to stick your nose in your glass and see what you get. So go ahead, swirl whatever's in your glass right now and stick your nose in it. Take a really good sniff and see what you pull out of it. I don't have a ton in here. I can't, I'm not a German Shepherd. I can't get I cannot get the notes like that are on the card. I just smell really good wine. And that's what I love about this. It doesn't have to be formal. You don't have to be perfect to do this or to drink this. And then after you get that good sniff, you're going to go ahead and give it a sip. And see what your mouth thinks about it. Your nose is the key to drinking wine. Your nose is going to, it's like the driver of drinking wine, right? If you have a stuffy nose, the wine's not going to taste the same as if you didn't have a stuffy nose. If you ate something really, say you had a very citrusy white in your glass and you had, say, a grape that is not citrusy, it could taste really funny, right? So when you eat, your palate really depends on your nose working to give you all the experience in your mouth. So I really love that. It's a really fun exercise. So this Chardonnay, I call it like the gateway of Chardonnays. For anybody who does not enjoy Chardonnay, this is your gateway Chardonnay. Like this is going to lead you into the Chardonnay world, because this Chardonnay is not aged in oak like most traditional Chardonnays are. It's aged in stainless steel. So it doesn't give you that overwhelming oaky, buttery finish. It's much lighter on the palate, but still a Chardonnay at heart. So I always tell people if they don't like it to give this a try, and they're always pleasantly surprised. I very rarely have anybody still say like they're not, unless they are a true Chardonnay drinker. Then we have, larger, more robust Chardonnays for that. But this one, just like our Brut, also a crowd pleaser. So Anya showed you a minute ago that she was using the tasting note cards that come in the kit. And I'm using the note card that comes in your mini kit that comes with the wines. And I love this because you and your guests, get these, and it says, put this wine here. It tells you you're going to be tasting this one second. It tells you to make sure you chill it, like it walks you through everything. And then it's going to tell you that the Chardonnay has layers of vanilla cream, intense citrus with a rich finish like a meringue. And it pairs really well with creamy brie, fresh crab, macaroons, and spiced squash. That sounds so delicious. Is anybody here a really big fan of our Chardonnay? Raise your hands, right? It's a good one. It's definitely a good one. All right, so with that, I'm going to go ahead and turn it on over to Alyssa. Are you taking us through the next one? No? Who's got it? Laura. Sorry,
Yeah,
I'm going next on my screen.
That's
I'm
okay.
pointing you to who's next on
I
my
am
screen, which
pointing-
is absolutely no help to you. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Which area are we on in this?
Right?
Totally fine. So I would say continue enjoying that Chardonnay stuff. That sounded like delicious. And I wish I had some like yummy like pairings to go along with it.
So
I was
good.
thinking in the kids' Halloween candy that we have downstairs, like the almond joy would be like delicious. And I'm going to say it. I know I'm going to have a lot of haters on this call when I say it, but candy corn is also really good with the Chardonnay.
No.
Oh,
So,
pumpkin
No.
mellow.
I know that there might be some on here being like, boo, but I really love candy corn and I'm proud to admit it. So I wanted to kind of kick it off into our wine club, because what I think what's really great about One Hope is that they really do make something for everyone. So we actually have two different wine clubs. You can actually join a curated wine club, or you can do a BYO, which is a build your own. They both have amazing perks and delicious wines. Okay. So what's so great about it is that you can get 5% back in your wine rewards, which is awesome. I always think of it as like your Kohl's Cash. If anybody's familiar with Kohl's, it's like you get like free money in return to go spend on more wine. Pretty cool. You also get amazing discounts. So starting at 4 bottles of wine, you get 5% off of 4, you get 6, just kidding, 10% off of 6 or 20% off of 12. And for our wine clubs, you get free shipping on 4 or more. Free shipping, and you get free shipping outside of your wine club order. So let's say that you decide on these wine clubs to get them shipped either monthly, every other month, or quarterly. If you want to order outside of those shipments, you get free shipping on 4 or more. It is a great deal, like amazing. And on top of that, we're all about the give back. So when you are purchasing your wine, 10% from those sales is going to go back to your own cause of choice. So whatever nonprofit that you'd like to support through your wine spend, that is what you get to do here at One Hope. So if you choose to go the BYOB route, then you can either do a 4, 6, or 12 pack. You mix and match your wines, and then you can pick your scheduled delivery, whether you want it monthly, whether you want it every other month, whether you want it quarterly. If you go the route of the curated wine club, which is basically created from our amazing winemaker, Mari Wells Coyle, she puts together a special pack every season. And then you get that shipment quarterly. Both are great options, and it's really just a matter of kind of what fits you best and what you're looking for. This month in our wine pack for the current wine club, it's a really nice mix of both some rosé wine. So there's like a really delicious sparkling rosé in there. There's our Sonoma Coast Rosé. And then we also have a Pinot Noir, which we're going to talk a little bit about a Pinot Noir, a Cabernet, a Pinot Grigio, and a blend. So it's a really nice mixture of wine. It really allows you to try something new and try something different. So I think we're going to kick it off over to our Pinot Noir, which is going to be our first red wine of the evening. It's going to be our lightest red wine. What's cool about the Pinot Noir is that like it can be actually the most difficult grape to grow. It's very temperamental as far as the climate. But on the flip side, it's our most versatile red wine. And I actually learned this from Anya, but like, it is so versatile in the fact that like, if you have a BYOB and you're not quite sure what to bring a Pinot Noir, because that Pinot Noir can taste great with a pasta dish or a meat, or you can have it with, you know, a dessert or chicken. Like it very much pairs well with just about anything. And I've also learned that it goes great with dark chocolate, milk chocolate, white chocolate, like you name it. Pinot Noir is the way to go. And I do have these amazing little wine cards here to talk about our Vintner Collection Pinot Noir, which again is an award-winning wine. All of the wines that you are trying this evening, if you have the tasting flights, are award-winning 90-point rated wine, meaning that basically these wines were entered into a contest, let's say, right, with, you know, a bunch of other different wines from other winemakers, and they got high rated points. So that's kind of the way it works. It went in and a judge said, these are like award-winning, awesome, anything. I want to say, and correct me if I'm wrong, I think 85 and up are like exemplary, delicious wines. And we have wines that are like 98 point rated wines too, like really high wines. So the Pinot Noir, if you take a look at these awesome little profile, talks about it. It is, to me, it has a little bit of a cherry bing to it. There's a little bit of a spicy cinnamon to it. You can taste the red and black berries. It's very silky, very smooth, and it does have like a little bit of a zing to it, like a little bit of the tannins, which is really, really nice. It's going to be a medium bodied, meaning that it's not going to be real heavy, like maybe like a Cabernet. It's just kind of lighter on the subtle side. And then let's talk about food, right? I mean, I kind of talked about it. It really pairs with pretty much anything. But if you look at these cards, it talks about a truffle cheese, which I don't know, hands up, who loves a truffle cheese? Like, delicious. Fajitas, right? So steak or chicken fajitas, grilled salmon, or brownies. And that sounds amazing. I actually have brownies downstairs, so that kind of hits the spot. But yeah, we are going to actually now pass it over to Alyssa, and she's going to talk a little bit more about our next and our last wine of the evening.
I will, for sure. So I am going to be talking about our Cabernet. So if you are following along, go ahead and get yourself ready to sample our Cabernet Sauvignon that's in your tasting flight, or if you are following along with just a bottle that you happen to prefer and it's a cab, go ahead and open that bad boy up. I will start us with talking just about hosting. So Laura in the beginning mentioned that you can host a tasting either like this in a Zoom room with your friends, and you can also do it in your living room or at a BYOB restaurant, or on your back patio, whatever is convenient for you. So we offer some perks in hosting. I just want to share those with you guys tonight. So a couple things. You can pick your own charity of your choosing. So tonight you're experiencing kind of a collective tasting where we each have links going, and you can support whomever invited you to the tasting tonight if you haven't already. But in a tasting where you do it in a home, or if you have a dedicated event for a tasting, you can pick a single charity of your choosing. You can talk specifically about that charity. That charity will get 10% of all the wine sales for the evening. And then if you are a host, you actually also get 10% of the wine purchases for the evening back in free wine, which means that it's really fun to host because whatever you choose to put out, you get back in free wine, which is awesome. I just had a tasting this past weekend. The girls had so much fun. It was a girls' night out. They were raising money for a local charity that supports police. And it was just a really fun night. A lot of them hadn't seen each other a lot. There was even a few babies there, new moms came. So it was just really fun. We raised a ton of money. And then when I got to tell my host that she also got the same amount back in free wine, she was like, wait, what? I got free wine too? Awesome. So you get to have fun, you get to raise money for charity, you get to talk to your friends and be authentic with them about the causes that are really near and dear to your heart, which is awesome to just have that avenue to do that too. And then again, you get to raise money for charity, and then you get to earn your money back in free wine. All right, so let's go ahead and start sampling some of our Cabernet. Okay, so sorry, I'm going to just tell you I'm geeking out a little bit so you don't have to listen to my child in the background, playing the tablet or whatever. Our Cabernet used to be the only wine that I ever drank. I very foolishly, I'm totally being transparent here, thought Cabernet Sauvignon was a blend. It's not. It's its own wine. It's its own grape. So I have had the opportunity and pleasure to learn a little bit about grapes along the way as well. I've been doing One Hope for 5 years. Cabernet Sauvignon is its own grape, no longer a blend in my life. But I hope you guys enjoy this. I think it's a very versatile wine. Go ahead and swirl it, smell it. I tend to smell Bing cherries when I drink this Cabernet. I also tend to taste the vanilla hints that Mari talks about. which I think end up going really nicely with a charred steak on the grill, or dark chocolate. So those are my go-to pairings with this. I am, however, Greek, so I cannot neglect to tell you that it goes really amazing with baklava as well. So anything in that nutty flavor, the richness also pairs really nicely with the Cabernet. If you guys have, I'm going to check my notes over here. So the other note that Mari gives us is toffee. So if you guys like candy that has that toffee flavor in it, this would kill it with a pairing with that as well. All right, so I am going to hand it over to, I believe I'm handing it back to you, Laura, to close us out at this point. Yes?
Actually,
Yes.
I'm gonna take that
Oh,
one.
gosh,
I'm
sorry.
gonna close it out. Oh, it's all
Thank
good.
you,
We
Anya,
had
girlfriend.
oh, it's all good. We had Laura start, and then well, Laura can say final words, but I am taking the next part, which is if at this point you're a guest and you're like, I came here to sip, and you're like, wait a minute, there's a group of people here on Zoom who are just drinking wine and just like there's 5 other people helping to make this thing happen. Like I can do this. And if you're thinking that, and if you like wine, and if you have a heart, and if you would like the idea that you can make an impact in your community by sharing wine and getting paid for sharing wine, then yes, you could and you should do this. What I'm going to tell you is definitely take your 20 seconds of courage and reach out to the person that invited you and say, can you just tell me a little bit more? And everybody here has a different journey with One Hope, joined for a different reason, but we are all here connected as being rooted in our community. We are all here really on the same mission, which is to kind of help to contribute to our family's budget, regardless of what our goal is. Some of us have smaller goals, and other ones have very big, scary goals. But in the end, we are making an impact in our family, even if that means having that extra money to take our kiddos out for ice cream, or maybe taking our kiddos on a vacation. So we invite you to kind of look into this. What I love about One Hope is that there is no pressure to have inventory because we can't resell. So there's no inventory to have, which is amazing. We don't have monthly sales goals and like quotas in order to stay with One Hope, which allows for the what ifs in life, especially if you're a mama. Our what ifs in life happen all the time. And I like the flexibility that I get to decide what I want to earn each month and how much time I would like to dedicate to it. We earn commission on our own wine purchases. Let that sink in. That was like a win-win for me because my local wine store does not pay me. One Hope does. And I know when you come to my home, it is going to be One Hope that is shared. And Thelma that's on this call right now, I saw her this weekend. Guess what we had in the parking lot in Chicago? One Hope, and it paid us to sip on wine. So I invite you to reach out to the person who invited you. In order to join, here's the breakdown. $39 to join, that gives you the business kit. Then you get to select the really exciting part, which is your wine kit. And you'll have 3 options. Why this is exciting? Well, first, it's wine. But second, you actually earn commission on this part of the wine kit, which is why they're separated. So you know exactly which part you will earn commission. Your first choice is $59, which includes the little bottles that we just went through, the tasting flight. So everything that we just went through, you will receive. However, because it's October, I'm going to say you want to skip that part and move up into the $99 category because there's a whole lot of wine at the $99 part and higher. So after the $59, which is the tasting flight, $99 wine kit includes 6 bottles of wine that gets shipped to you. And then in October, we are gifting all of our new team members, not I, One Hope is, 6 free additional bottles. It's called an event kit, and it is meant for you to share with a friend in order to grow your business. Book a tasting. It's 6 free bottles. It's a tasting. And whoever you're going to join under, your friend, they will help you to make sure that you maximize that in order to start your business like going woof fast because it's October. It's like a hot October. you know? And then the final one is $199. And that one includes pretty much everything. It includes the tasting flights. It includes 6 bottles of wine that get shipped to you. And then you ready for this? 2 tasting events, which is 12 bottles of wine that you get to use to grow your business. Talk about an incredible start to sharing wine and making an impact. So please, if this sounds like fun, if you're like, here we are, we do this monthly. There are resources. You will not be alone. You are surrounded by a team of wine sippers, do-goers, and like you won't be alone. We are here to help you have a successful launch. So I just want to thank you for being here with us. I want to thank Lori for keeping us on track and being our chat goddess. She's the glue that holds us together. Stephanie, Laura, Alyssa, you guys have totally made this half an hour, 33 minutes. We did this in 33 minutes. Amazing. We will close this out and leave it open for questions. If there are any questions, you can unmute yourself or you can just put it in the chat. And now Laura can take over.